Boom.
Booyah.
Oh wow!
Boom.
Look at
Shakalaka.
Greetings.
Yes.
Boom shakalaka. That is
Man,
downright
oh man,
bang.
by
Let's
the
go.
skin of my
Nice,
teeth on this one. But we made it, folks. Made it to
man.
BRB Presents. Man, it's been a crazy week for us, but we got one heck of a show for you tonight. We got Keith with Master Brews NFT. We're gonna go through all the good, the bad, the ugly. No, there's nothing but good with that project. I don't know if you
You,
checked them out, but
you have
you're gonna hear.
the
Oh, come on now. You're a beautiful man. What are you talking about? But we're definitely going to be going through that project as usual. We're going to take a look at the BTC chart, see how that's doing. I don't know. I felt a little bit of pain today in my gut. I wasn't sure what it was, and then I looked at the chart, and there it was. But I guess they all
Yeah.
can't be good days. But how you folks doing? Rico, Bronze, Keith, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Doing
good.
great. I'm glad you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it, man. That was like by the hair on your chinny chin chin. That was really good. That was a nice move. I mean, I didn't expect that. That's awesome. No,
Yeah,
doing good.
feel
Just weathering the storm. Yeah, weathering the
Yeah.
crypto market and all the news that's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Bronze,
We'll
what about
definitely be
you?
going into that for a moment for sure. I mean, I don't know. I feel good. I feel energized. I think tonight's the night. We're gonna kill it. It's gonna be a great show. Bronze, how about you? How you doing tonight?
Feeling good. I mean, of course it could be a little bit better, but yeah, always trying to stay positive, and there's always opportunities. Some people might say FUD, but we can say FUDtastic, and I'm gonna run with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Keith, what about you, brother? How you doing tonight?
Yeah, it's been a long week for many reasons. Not anything to do with the crash. Just a long week in general, and if I slur my words, that's the reason.
Believe me, I know the
I
feeling.
can't blame tequila on this one.
Oh well, okay. So what's your brand then? What's your brand? I got mine.
So
Do you have a brand?
unfortunately, I live in Quebec, and Quebec tightly controls the import of alcohol that's not made here.
Oh.
And usually I discover new brands when I travel and then smuggle them back in.
Okay. All right. Well, you realize you are doxxed. We're gonna have to keep that on the down low. But he was just joking, folks. He doesn't do any of that.
I just make my own moonshine. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh. You could do that? Oh no, you can't. Oh well.
Can't do that
I
one
feel
either.
like. But Keith, we're definitely happy to have you on tonight. I think that we've been taking a look at the project. Project looks amazing, but we're anxious to have you talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. Pleasure to be here, and hopefully it'll be the first of many times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we definitely encourage all of our guests that are coming on. If you have any updates that are going on in the future, we definitely want to have you guys back. Talk about it. I mean, honestly, that's what this is all about. We want to make sure that the space is getting out there. We keep it positive because last year was just ugly, and we want to put that behind us, and we just want to move forward, and that's really what this is about. So, all right, well, let's get into it. I'm just pulling up the screen. Let me know if you guys can see the chart here.
Definitely.
This
Yes,
is
sir.
Yep.
all right. So what we're looking at here is the daily charts for BTC. So we currently have it set for day candles. If we were to go ahead and just get this down to 4 hour, you'll see what's kind of really been happening over the past, call it week or so. And we've been on a fairly steady downward trend. However, if you were to kind of pull this out a bit, you'll hear that there's a lot of folks indicating that we were hitting an apex right about here, and it looks as though we may have broken down. When we hit that apex, it's one of two things are going to happen. Obviously, it's going to go up, it's going down. It mostly never goes sideways. So looks like we broke down, which is not a good sign. But to be fair, we still, if you were to zoom way out on this thing, I mean, we're pretty well near bottom. Now, another thing to note here, if you take a look, RSI, that's the strength index, is hitting pretty low. That's a good sign. Typically, if you take a look historically around these levels, you start to see an uptick. So just keep that in mind. And this is, again, as always, not financial advice, just entertainment purposes. Hope you're getting something out of it. But Rico, what say you? What do you think? Are we going to keep on heading lower, or are we going to ride this thing out?
Well, yeah, I got something for us. I'm going to share the screen as well. And, this is pretty interesting. And I also want people to just know exactly where we're at. I've talked about it before, 200 moving average, how important it was. Every time we broke past it, we actually had an uptrend. And we also got to keep in mind that when we broke to the downside of it, we had a downward trend as well. And we could see that for a long time, we were in that downward trend spiral. And then, recently when we broke past that 200 moving the 200 moving average, things got bullish for a while. And that was after FTX that pushed us down into the zone right here. What I'm telling everybody right now, I just did a live stream, just talking about Bitcoin and a lot of other things, is this price point right here is super crucial. I mean, not only is it a historical area that it was a resistance in the past, the same one in 2017, but it's also riding on the line of that 200 moving average. So, it's pretty crucial for us to respect this, because a lot of traders are going to respect this 200 moving average because, well, those self-fulfilled prophecies. And right now we're in that section. We're in that zone that we should be paying attention to. It's right on that 19,000, which was that, basically you can just call it 20, but that 20,000. And this is something that we should keep an eye on. If Bitcoin breaks underneath that 200 moving average, I know some people are saying 18,000 or whatnot, but not financial advice, but I probably would start DCAing at 12,000. And we don't want to see that, obviously, but I would keep track of Bitcoin holding on to this 200 moving average. And a lot of people are scared because, excuse me, obviously, DOJ is talking about dumping all this crypto into the market and whatnot from Silk Road. So, just stay up, stay informed, watch the channels, make sure you subscribe to the BRB Cash channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel, make sure you're following us on all social platforms, because, we're bringing a lot of juicy content to everybody and stuff that you guys can use in the future once you guys get familiar with it. So that's what I have right there. Is respecting that 20,000 is crucial for us. And if we break to the downside of that, historically, anytime we broke past that 200 moving average to the downside, we had somewhat of a downtrend. One thing I want to say before I pass the mic on to Bronze, is that we could have something like this, right? This little picture right here, which would be, oops, not the circle. We want the rectangle, which would be okay, right? This little design right here, this little pattern would be nice, because then it would kind of fit into this section right here, which obviously we don't want to see 12, but if it did break into the underneath that 200 moving average, it could be a pattern that we see, because we obviously do not want to see this pattern right here, just spiraling all the way down. So right now we're still within the same trend that we've been talking about podcast after podcast. If we stay within this 20,000 to 25,000, that's all good. Keep an eye on the 200 moving average. That's what I got for everybody.
Love it. Bronze, what do you what do you say? What do you think?
I'm more of the news part. The charts is your guys's. It just, I don't know how. I don't know if there's any proof of them, the government selling off the Silk Road Bitcoins over onto Coinbase. But I mean, when I first heard that this morning, I'm wondering why are they doing that now? Why are they not hodling? So there's definitely something is going on with this, right? So the news this week has been crazy with Gary Gensler. You hear about Gemini Grayscale kind of suing back the SEC, not getting that spot ETF Bitcoin. And it's just, you kind of I'm not really too much of a conspiracy theorist, but you just can't help but, trying to connect the dots, trying to connect all these, news developments. But overall, it's on short-term wise, it looks like we're going to go down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a free fall. I don't really see us going down to 17,000. if it is, yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of scary, but at the same time, you buy on the dip. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, still bullish in the long term. Yeah, we just got to pay close attention. So yeah, what do you think, Keith, aka Varus?
Yeah. So while I don't do technical analysis, I understand most of it. And I used to trade. I had some major wins and then some major losses very quickly about a year and a half ago. So now I tend to do more things like provide concentrated liquidity and look into other yield plays. But in the short term, I definitely think there's absolutely room to go down. Although I do think this weekend we're going to rebound a bit from today, strictly because these type of overreactions, we've seen them like 100 times, and it's very much priced in. People are expecting already what's coming tomorrow with things like jobs report and whatnot. So I don't think it's anything that's going to crush us right now. In the cycle, I think we absolutely have at least another year and a couple months minimum of the bear market. So we are going to see 16 grand again for sure. We'll probably see it multiple times. We'll probably see, it go there, go back to 21, 22, go back down again. I don't think we'll ever get below 14 again in the rest of this cycle, unless there's some major black swan type event, which is always a possibility. But yeah, I think around 14 would be the bottom. Maybe if it goes to 12, I think it'll be scooped up in like 24 hours. So I don't think it'll be a long time at that price. But long term, Bitcoin is meant less for traders. Traders want more volatility and more for holders in reality. So the people investing in Bitcoin, it's for the next bull cycle. And I can't see anybody not making profit if they buy at this price for, let's say late 2024, early 2025. You also have, by then, you have the halving coming up, right? The next one. So,
yeah. No, I mean, frankly, I agree with you, Keith. I feel like we may see a rebound from here, and my biggest thing is always paying attention to RSI, and we're hitting a pretty low number. I feel like you're right. 14 seems low. Like if it does touch it, if it kisses it, it's just for a moment. But again, not financial advice. Take anything that we say here with a grain of salt. Always make sure you folks are doing your own research. That's what this is about. We're just here to try to educate, maybe talk about a few things, get you guys in the right direction. Of course, you guys always make your own educated decisions on that. But moving on, and Bronze, I'm going to actually turn this immediately over to. I have a article here, and let me just pull it up. This talks about what happens today regarding the New York Attorney General alleging that Ether is a security, right? And this also talks about how there is a KuCoin lawsuit in the works that filed suit against them today. Yeah. Now, we did see the downturn. Obviously, this is not good news, but it is only one state, and New York is known to be tough on crypto. But what do you say? What do you think? Is this big news? Is this just more of the same in that state?
Yeah, it feels like this week it seems like there's like a coordinated attack and things like that. We're gonna have to see it in the next 48 hours to see if some of this type of news is going to hold up, or if Ethereum is going to crash. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, to me, Ethereum is just too big. Just one person. What is her name? Lydia James. Trying to set this. What do you call it with this FUD? To me, I'm not too worried about it, but I mean it could go the other way. It can really go bad, but we'll see. We'll see what the rest of the states goes, and but yeah, to me, I don't think it's just a little bump in the road, and yeah, we're always gonna get these. And I said Ethereum is just too big to lose. Yeah, Rico, what do you think? Oh, Rico,
you're still a
little lag.
Yeah.
What was that? I didn't hear. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'll say, Rico,
Yeah.
what do you think about the Ethereum
Oh, okay.
with this
I
attorney
bet it didn't
general?
come through. Yeah, I'm with you. Like this whole like coordinated attack stuff, and unfortunately, they're capitalizing on all the things that have been going on in the space with the Luna since beginning, and with FTX especially. This is I know they see this as their grand opportunity to basically anything that they can do. This is the time to do it because they'll have people kind of in fear, uncertainty, and doubt, where they can capitalize on the overall sentiment of what's going on in the market. KuCoin being a pretty big one, that would be a pretty big blow. But I also agree with John. When it comes to New York, they're just really strict on everything. It doesn't matter what it is, any type of freedom or any type of anything that you want to do. You're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay somebody. You got to pay to play when it comes to New York. So I guess only time will tell when it comes with that on that part of the ETH and whatnot. And we can see that right there. It's about Luna and stuff like that. So yeah, I just think, like you said, the coordinated attack is just they're seeing this as an opportunity, and the best thing we can do as investors or crypto enthusiasts is keep building what we want to see in the future and keep helping other projects. Like we got Keith on here tonight, and that's one thing I love about these podcasts. It's not just about BRB, it's about everybody. And we want the whole crypto space to stay alive. And it's going to take each and every individual to do their own job, and not just within your own token or your own metaverse or your NFT, just in the whole crypto space altogether. Yeah. So that's what I have on that for you guys.
I mean, and it's funny because when you take a look at this article, I don't know if you folks can see it at home, but they're arguing that ETH, just like Luna and UST, and what I love about that statement right there is that they are combining, they're comparing all three and they're putting them in the same bucket. And I feel like anyone in this space knows better. And I mean, I don't know about you, Keith, and I don't know if you know anything about me, but I'm a bit of an ETH purist. And I take offense to the fact that they are comparing Ethereum to Luna or to a stable coin. I don't know. What do you feel about this? What's your thoughts on this, Keith?
So I think this is actually really bullish, because to me, all the things going on, when the pace accelerates, history has shown that's because they're getting desperate and they realize they're falling further and further behind the overall picture. They're falling behind the rest of the world. And, no offense to Americans, but as much as America loves to think they're the world police and they can dominate global policy, and for me, things like this is one step closer to people finally telling them to get lost with this stuff. I think even this week there was definitely the judge in the Grayscale case kind of slapped them around, right? The SEC. And then I think there was one other story I quickly skimmed across where a judge also came down pretty hard on the SEC representatives. So to me, that's, they're going to try to grab, you can look at everything from prohibition to the dawn of the internet itself, where they didn't want it to go public. And they're constantly going to be trying to keep what power they have. And I think they're constantly going to lose. Now, it could still take many, many years. But I do think the rest of the globe is going to put enough pressure on them that, no, eventually they'll have to adopt it. And the second thing is, they can't stay in power forever, right? The older generation with an older mindset who have had that comfy position. Essentially, new people are rising up who are from a younger generation, who grew up with the internet, who are into crypto, who are advocates for it. So definitely, when I see things like this all happening at once, I kind of think in my head, they realize their time is running out. So,
yeah. I agree. I feel like for the most part, you're absolutely right. And frankly, the whole U.S. Trying to kind of police the world and whatnot. There is no policing crypto. There's no stopping it. They could try, and I agree. Getting the word out there and trying to kind of slow it down is really just that. It's unstoppable. It's a juggernaut. So good luck to any country that tries to get in front of that juggernaut. They're going to get run over. And I hope they have a contingency plan. And frankly, I feel like they probably already do. They know it's coming. So, Well, good. I think that was great. I feel like that was a good topic for today, especially everything that's been happening in the market. But we definitely want to give Keith his time to shine here.
You
I'm
might regret that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I've been taking a look at your site, and man, this site looks awesome. It is well
Good.
put together. Let me pull this up here. Um, so if you guys haven't already checked it out, right before I turn this over to Keith, it is masterbrews.com. And Keith, tell us what's going on in your project. What do you want to focus in on? Where have you been? Where are you? And where are you going?
Yeah, so the first thing I like to correct people on, and I call it a project sometimes too, but it is a company. We are an actual company. We never started as a project for Master Brews. And essentially, at its core, we are a Web3 and smart contract development company. That's how we started. We really wanted to build out platform services when we found the NFT space in early 2021. And then that kind of pivoted once we started looking into it. The first thing we did was say, all the art is kind of the same niche. And I've worked with artists in many fields around the world for years. And I'm like, I would love to bring and help onboard artists, especially from, developing nations. There was such an opportunity for them to suddenly make a good income, change their life. Things that, for example, two of our OG Master Brews artists who I know it's changed their life, they're both from Kenya and Africa. We have an artist from Mongolia. We have artists from South America, Central America, a lot of parts of Asia. And it was really cool that we were able to help some of them get into the space. And some of them now are big names, have done, big successful projects. One of my friends, Riot Gear, he goes by, he got picked up. He did projects with like Mark Cuban and some other people.
Wow.
And these are guys who, they've told me like, it's amazing, you changed my life. And that makes me feel good. I don't want to take too much credit, but that was our initial, start with Master Brews. And all of that is still around and still on there. Actually, if you click on the artists, you'll see some of them. And the site is, I have to admit, the site's a little out of date. In the bear market, we've been busy on a lot of things and doing different client work and such. So we haven't really updated the site in a while. But the initial idea was just us playing with the blockchain, playing with NFTs, helping artists make a little. And then from that, we pivoted to doing client work. And the first project was for a friend of ours, an actual friend we knew for many years. And he was like, these NFTs are kind of boring. Not these ones specifically, just in general. He's like, can people make them like evolve and change? And we were like, I don't know. Let's find out. And so Whelps, for those who don't know, actually is credited as the first dynamic NFT. So that was something that our team did, and that gave us a little bit of a claim to fame in the bull run of, when NFTs were flying and there was 50 projects a day dropping. So that was kind of what got us on the map. We started getting a lot of client requests. We really tried to be selective, pick people who had an innovative or cool idea, and then see if we could do it. And that had pros and cons. On the pro side, a lot of that gave us so much experience, so much code written. We did things way before other people, like that dividend contract you just saw. That's a whole system that nobody was doing at that time. We did that almost 2 years ago now. And this was something where the NFTs they held had different attributes and different allocations. If they were an artist, if they were someone who owned certain tiers and rarity and such. And then we were depositing from all our client work 5% of that revenue into the contract, and people could come claim it whenever they felt like it. So a little bit of DeFi stuff that's now pretty popular wasn't really being done then, in this manner. Whelps was a great success. I think we marketed it with like a $2,000 budget and then sold out in a day for over $1 million. So
wow.
Good ROI.
Yeah.
And we took that money, reinvested in our company, expanded our company. We started producing a game for Whelps, which is like Mario Kart meets Spyro, if anyone remembers Spyro from the PlayStation days. And this was really, again, we saw how the space was for blockchain gaming at that time. And we were like, these are not really games. Most of them are chores. They're, utility or DeFi wrapped in a skin. For some things, it was great that were actually on-chain games, games where you interacted with a smart contract in a way that made sense. But most of them were like, just farming and things like that, where you really had to grind out, and the whole play to earn movement, which now is a dirty word, right, on the gaming side. And it implies games are not fun and you're only playing for that tiny reward.
Right.
But yeah, the other thing we did in the gaming space, so just to mention Whelps, we got up to a playable demo. I think that was about 7 months worth of work. And then the playable demo was out, the market crashed. Our plans to keep self-funding through further NFT expansions was put on hold. We have an entire collection of like dwarves that have a new type of dynamic NFT no one's done before to our knowledge, which is called synergistic NFTs. And what happens is they transform based on what else is held in your wallet. So for example, let's say you have a dwarf who happens to be a miner. He's just in a mine working, and he'll earn you the game's token, let's say. If you happen to get a bard who boosts his productivity, while the bard is in your wallet, all your miners get perhaps animated with musical notes, things like this. And if the bard leaves your wallet, they go back to normal. So these are the type of things we like working on, like stuff we notice that people aren't trying or aren't doing. And that's it's a shame that it's been about 6 months, the project's on hold. We've looked at VC routes, we've looked at a lot of things. We are talking to many, many different chains and different companies, but nothing has come along that fit our vision for it. There were VC interest, and this is not to trash VCs, but as you can probably expect, the terms were extremely predatory, especially involving tokenomics and what discount they would get. And we know how that goes. We know, like, they're going to dump it the first chance they get, and we've seen the results of many great games and great teams be ruined by such. So we'd rather just wait, keep putting our efforts into a variety of paths and a variety of projects and clients, and keep building connections. And we're talking, slowly but surely, we're building up a lot of I would say goodwill with communities like guilds and gamer communities and such. So we're pretty happy with, well, we're not happy it's on pause. We're pretty happy with where it's going to be when the next run comes, and we can start getting back to that. I guess our other flagship is really Heroes and Villains. This was something we worked with Mark McKenna, who's a very famous Marvel DC legend. He's probably been around about 35 years in the comic industry now. He's done any character you can think of. And we met him because he was a guest artist for Master Brews. He wanted to help artists out that we were onboarding. And so he was willing to just, super nice guy. He's like, you know what? We were promoting fairness of compensation. So it didn't matter if you were an artist in a developing nation with no name, no followers. You got paid the same per piece as a guy who typically, let's say, charges $50,000 a piece. And Mark was one of these guys willing to do it, and do it for, I would say 99% cheaper than his normal rate. So we built that relationship with him. We did a whole collection with him and his team, Jay DeFoy, Ross Campbell. These are also guys heavy in the comic industry, animation industries. And what was different there was we took the evolution mechanic that Whelps had, brought it to Solana, added some extra twists and turns. And the same thing, we sold out, unfortunately, mint day. We were doing a really nice pace our first hour or two, and then Solana crashed for about 12 hours on us. And so much was going on that people just jumped to the next mint, right? So it was a long process, but we eventually cut supply down for that one. We did sell out the rest eventually. We put all that money into building essentially a web-based and mobile-based strategy RPG. And we didn't get to a playable demo for that one, but we are, 6 figures in, many months in, with another professional video game studio. And it's something, again, where it's in the same situation. We had many plans, many expansions. We have a comic book series for it that was an NFT first, and later was going to be a physical series. So a lot of things are just on hold because of the market, which is a shame. But our community is pretty understanding, and we can't thank them enough for that. They're extremely patient in a space that is usually not patient at all.
Yeah. So Keith, when you say on hold, like that means like you guys are not developing, or you guys are not just out there to connect and try to raise capital?
Yeah, no. So we're doing all those activities. We're just not actively developing the game because we do use professional video game studios. And for example, Whelps is $1.5 million game, right, for the MVP. So it's something where we're about halfway into it, but we don't have the funds to fund like another, let's say, $700,000 right now. Right. So it is something where we couldn't support the burn rate, and we had to hit pause on that. Our studio partners fully understood. They're used to that type of thing. You know, they have clients who they build. They even spend $1 or $2 million building something, and then they'll put it on pause for like 2 years, get funding, and then resume it. So for them, it's like business as usual.
Crazy.
But yeah, for us, it sucks having something that, you know, we've worked really hard on just being on pause because of financial reasons. But that's the reality of it. Nothing we can change. And we are still exploring all avenues to get it moving quicker. But I guess you could say our worst case plan is to just be fully prepared for the next bull run and then continue self-funding the way we did at the beginning.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you talk about trying to get the capital funding, and it's been increasingly harder as the bear market continued into last year. But you hear this all over the place, and you know exactly what's going to happen. You had mentioned it yourself, right? As the bear market then starts to alleviate, and then we start to go into the next bull, they're going to be throwing money at you. And they're going to make it rain. And we've seen this time and time again when we go from bear to bull and bear to bull. So I think you guys have an awesome project. I mean, take a look at this on the screen here. It's amazing. It's horrible to hear though that you guys are just now in a kind of holding pattern, but I agree. We understand it, and that's kind of that's where we are right now. We getting onto Essential Exchange that helped us, you know, kind of get more brand exposure out there, and you know, from our standpoint now, it's working with those capital investment companies and trying to prove our worth. But you guys really have put a lot of energy into this.
Yeah, so we're super appreciative. Our holders are not complaining. They're never negative. They're always just like, we understand. We're happy. We're here. We're hanging out. You know, it's become a hangout for a lot of people. So yeah, that's about all I can say about, you know, Whelps, Heroes and Villains. We had some other projects. We had one that was a personal favorite of mine because I love mythology. We had a multiple seasons on-chain battle tournament system that was going to be a private label for people later. And our live proof of concept was our own seasons, starting with Norse mythology. We had a really unique, cool art style. We had prizes. We had all kinds of fun involved. We built it up. It was starting to gain nice momentum. And again, yeah, the market crashed. We saw people weren't minting. We were like, you know what? Let's put it on the shelf. That one, luckily, we never minted. We never got to that stage. But that's something we're going to dust off and revamp maybe a little bit based on how the market and the trends change. But yeah, we have so much stuff that's just kind of on the shelves for a rainy day, you know, in the ice box, as they say. I will just mention one more Master Brews thing we're doing. It's not on the website, but we are right now, I'd say a couple weeks away from a prototype of a full on-chain Web3 affiliate platform. So we decided in the bear, it might be good. You know, games are awesome, and I'm a passionate gamer, but we should also kind of go back to our initial plans of, we're technology guys first. Why don't we build something, you know, that others can use technology wise? And so Block Refer, it's called Block Refer, and that's what it's going to be. It takes all the traditional affiliate software and platform issues, everything from delayed payouts to affiliate fraud and whatnot, and using the blockchain, leveraging it, it solves all of them in a really simple way. And we think this is going to be a big hit. This one is garnering, you know, we've just started showing our pitch deck selectively, but this one is garnering a lot of investor interest. So it's something we think we're going to be able to get our beta clients starting to use it probably within a month and a half.
Oh, interesting.
Boom. Drop the mic on that one. I feel like we need to get more information on that, but it sounds to me like you got more to come. And when that time is ready, you got to come back up on here and tell us more about that. So
I would love to.
Amazing stuff. And getting Keith coming out here and getting the name out there and getting the branding out there. That's what we're trying to do, right? I mean, frankly, we are truly stronger together, and by kind of bringing everyone together in this bear. And let's face it, we're still in the bear. I feel like, yeah, we felt a little bit of a thaw for that. Spring kind of came, and then I don't know. Today kind of just got the chills a little bit, but I guess that's this time of year for most of us, at least in the northern hemisphere. But I tell you, I don't know, Keith, man, what else you got to say for anything else you want to say about the project?
Yeah, I just want to mention a little bit quickly. So I do have a personal project I started during the bear, and that's kind of one of the places I think I ran into bronze, or at least the project that led to it. So that's called Nexus War, and it's a little bit of an experiment. It's not a Master Brews portfolio kind of project, much smaller thing, much more personal thing. It's essentially a blend of DeFi, NFT, a little bit of game theory, a little bit of gambling, and it's something I've really been doing and building up. I have an awesome team with me. Some of my team from Master Brews, I tap them and use their skills as needed, which is a great advantage to have too, right? I have a full professional team who can do any of the A to Z stuff, just that I can leverage and use, whenever it's needed. So that's kind of something cool. And then, yeah, we tried actually to have our sale. I was trying to do something a little different and really, really build it organically with a very tight curated group of investors. So I wanted to see if that would work out. So we only had 140 people who were allowed to purchase in our token launch, and about 20% of them did. But a lot of people were being, they were hitting rugs, they were tapped out, they wished they had the money, or they had the money, and then, in the month while I built it up and launched, they lost the money. So it's something where we refunded everyone. We have an open refund policy, and now we've revamped it, we've streamlined it, we took all the feedback. We're going to start marketing it next week, actually build it up. We just kicked off the Twitter just to launch the account, but you'll see there's 16 followers. We didn't actually start building anything yet on the socials, but it's pretty good with Discord of 300 for it. And people are really appreciative of the refund aspect, the openness, the transparency. A lot of people have been liking to have us on, and whether they were cutting us, I would say, discounts because they thought it was something different and it wasn't your usual 5% a day, gone in 24 hours type deal. So yeah, we shall see if version 2 does better than version 1. But now I'm taking a slower approach with a more wider, it will be a public straight sale. There's no more custom token. It's purely going to have the NFT vehicle to do two things: play the game and or invest in our passive income system, which is heavily focused on concentrated liquidity providing. But there's a couple other things we're tying in. And, we have some really cool ideas as far as having a different type of game funding launchpad where there's no tokens involved, there's no staking involved. It's really going to be about fractional rev share, and the NFT is a vehicle for that. So this is kind of the way we're going with this, and I hope it works out, but we will see. We're still against a pretty bad market overall, but there's no rush on that. It is something I'm taking my time with, and the feedback has been great so far from the community.
So what's the gameplay like?
So using the term game is it's being used very loosely. It's nothing like Whelps or Heroes and Villains game or any of that stuff. It's really something that doesn't take time. It is a lot closer to gambling. The game theory is really about your budget allocation, and you do have a few decisions you can make. Everything is pretty much optional, but the gist of it is there are 5 planets that have different prizes on them, but the main prize is called a Nexus Sphere. You have a ship. You can equip your ship with gear. There are loot boxes. There's gear for exploring, and then there's weaponry for the attack phase. The game is in 2 phases, and really the Explorer is just about preparation, and then it's all RNG. We're using Chainlink VRF, so everything is provably fair on chain. If you find something, if you find an exosphere, you're public enemy number one. The whole season is essentially people trying to steal it from you. And we wanted to keep it very simple because we were targeting the DeFi crowd and in the investor crowd, not the gamer crowds, at least at this stage. So it's a little bit different, but we felt it was really important to keep it where someone could literally click 2-3 things a day if they wanted to. They didn't even have to do that much. Maybe they got lucky right away when they explored with 1 or 2 clicks and found either USDC or they found the Nexusphere. You can rent NFTs for income. You can essentially flip them if the demand will be there. Let's say we sell out. So it's really something where we'd love to expand it to more of a game in the future, and there will be multiple seasons. But this one's going to be very adaptive to what the community and the audience actually like. It could very well be that no one likes this type of game, and then either we develop it into a full-scale game if the passive income is working well and we're raising funds, or it could just be we turn it into the passive income part and the fractional GameFi and a couple of different things. So it's pretty much an ecosystem, and I will treat this like a company that we have a lot of plans for the future, but we're going to take it really slow. We don't want to waste time or people's time or money doing anything that there's no demand for.
Oh, okay. So, okay, like, take us through, like, say if I buy a jump ship,
yeah,
it's 250. I just hold it, and I'm going to be earning some passive income off of that by holding it.
So we changed it. Originally, there was a communal fund for the investments, and then jump ship holders would get a part of that. People didn't seem to like that too much. They preferred to do individual investments. So the jump ship now, it has 2 purposes. The first purpose for the investments, each jump ship lets you invest up to 2,500 USDC into our passive income system. And then the jump ship, if you choose to play the game, you do get 5 free explorations. So you don't have to spend additional money at all there. But if you want to buy loot boxes, try to beef up your ship, boost your odds of finding things, boost your odds of attacking. If you go a little bit down under revenue opportunities, I think below it, or below NFTs actually. So if you keep going down, yeah, so here's the gameplay, and you can see the actions. They'll show the cost, the chances and odds, things like that. But when you want to explore, so you do get 5 free, 1 per planet. That comes with your jump ship. But if you want to do it, get some extra darts for that dartboard, it's 10 USDC each extra exploration attempt. And then in Warfare, attacking someone is 10 USDC. But you can see the person getting attacked gets 75% of that. The treasury gets 25%. And then if you're holding a sphere, you can attempt stealth, which is pure RNG. It's just you have a small chance to hide for a day and nobody can attack you for that day. So that's the 3 kind of actions. And, like I said, we're keeping it very simple. Everything is going to use Chainlink. Everything is transparent here, well-defined. Nobody, because a lot of people on our team want to play as well. And usually that's something you have to be wary of as a project founder. Like, I want to play, but what happens if I win? We definitely expect fun, and a lot of negativity around that. But using something like Chainlink, we can be, hey, everything is here. It's provably, random. And, I think if I win, I'll probably give it back to the community somehow. But if my team wins, they're extremely welcome to keep it because they're spending their money like anyone else would.
Man, yeah. I want to. When are we able to see like the art and the demo?
So if you go in the NFT section, you'll see a lot of the art just for the NFTs. Yeah. So if you go, so one thing to mention is all the art was AI generated. I'm not an artist by any means, and while I have access to a network of artists, I thought it would be fun just to match the futuristic and dystopian future sci-fi theme to really just generate them all by AI myself. Nice. So these are what I came up with for every single piece of art that's involved in it. Now, once we have the actual UI, we're not going to make it too in depth, but I think we will try to have some little animations for things like when you attack and when you explore, like the basic actions. We'll try to give it a little life, even though it is a click a button type thing. There's no skill involved. You're not playing a real game. There's no reason we still can't make it, more fun and more engaging for people. And especially if people ever do videos and things on it, it's a lot more fun when it's lively, right? Versus static. So,
right. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing, and in fact, I feel like so we've been having a lot of NFT artists get on with us, and I've been communicating with a lot as well. Out of curiosity, what engine did you use to create your art? Was it
so
Dolly?
these ones were done in Dream by Wombo. I think it's Wombo.
Okay.
And essentially that was before I discovered Playground AI. And I do like Playground AI better, but I really do like these ones. So I had no reason to change them and upgrade them. But a lot of the stuff we drop in our Nexus War Discord, if I drop a good morning image that's like a space cantina with a bar staff, all that stuff is from Playground AI. So that's the one I'm using now. I've tested probably, 10 or 15 of them. A lot of the popular ones and then some obscure ones. And this is the one I'm currently liking best. I'm sure within a month that might, change and there'll be something even better. But for now, I'm very happy with how it's coming out.
Yeah. No, I mean, looks gorgeous. I mean, the AI, especially these days, it seems like, man, it's doing next level stuff, and not obviously just in the art space, but in so many other different areas. But for what I'm seeing here, it suits it perfectly. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I fully agree. One thing I haven't played with yet, but I just found out about recently, is that there are a couple of different AI sites that let you upload audio samples, and then you can type with text, and it will, you could take, for example, a celebrity's voice, and have it spit out something that definitely would fool the majority of people. So that's both dangerous and very cool on the tech side.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. In fact, as my day job, in parts, security is part of that, information security, and this is something that we warn folks about. Right, AI is getting so amazing, and it can be used for good, and of course, just the opposite. So, you know, it's but for what its purpose here, it really does look like you got it well together. It's definitely a well together next step. Nexus War. Nexus War. What was that website again? It was nexuswar.io. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then our Discord's the main spot to hang out with us, talk to us, find out what's going on. We right now, we are revamping it. We're building the marketing plan to initiate. We're doing some different things, but we're very communicative in there. And even if I'm not around, my team is, and my team is awesome. And for a while, we were doing all the transmissions purely in theme, and they were being generated by AI with with whatever my idea I wanted to say that day was. And it's really cool. Like you can do some awesome things with cryptographic type puzzles and riddles, and you can build out storylines and lore, right, that encompass long time periods. And there's so much stuff that you can do for community engagement that the AI simplifies and saves you tons and tons of hours on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let me ask you so Keith, with that all said, then what's the Discord? Where can folks find you? Where can they come and chat? And you guys have a TG? Is it primarily Discord?
I know TG is important to the crypto community, but I personally cannot stand it.
Oh, Lord.
So yes, I will always use it for business reasons. There are many people I talk to who only use TG and nothing else. So I'm on there, but I much prefer Discord. And if you want a quicker answer, yeah, anywhere in Discord is great. You can pop into Master Brews. You can pop into Nexus War. You can find me probably in many of the, NFT gaming and now some of the DeFi related communities. So I'm never too far away.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, Keith, I agree. I feel like when you take a look at Discord, you take a look at TG. TG is a bit of a mess, but it's very popular. And there's a lot of folks that use it, so there is its purpose. Discord is definitely a lot more organized. Um, you have ways to create your sections. There's a lot more control, and so I agree with you for sure, 100%. A lot more utility in Discord than anything TG currently has to offer. But folks, got to check it out. Join Keith over there. The project looks amazing, Keith. We're definitely, excited to see what you guys have to offer moving forward. Keith, thank you for joining us tonight, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Epic.
No, thank you guys for
Yeah.
listening to my ramblings. The ramblings of a madman.
No.
I mean, well, the tequila helped a little bit, but I feel like
it's all good.
True. No, we're just kidding. He just drinks Coca-Cola, but we folks, we do want to wrap it up, but we don't want to forget about the giveaway. We did have the $1 million. That's right. Did I say dollar? Heck no. Man, I don't have $1 million. Wish I did. 1 million BRB cash token giveaway. We did actually pull this gentleman out from all the comments. His name is Joshua. Joshua, if you're out there, his @handle is @Anthony 700204117. That's it. I don't know what it means, but Joshua, take a look for a DM from us. You're the winner tonight for the 1 million BRB seed tokens. We'll definitely connect with you offline regarding that. But what are we pulling up here? Oh, that's right. We went on Hotbit. Who just pulled that up and then pulled it out? That was a rug pull.
That's Rico.
Yeah.
Rico, put it back.
Rico, go
Man,
ahead. Throw it up.
I pulled it up, but
Let's
I
talk
accidentally clicked
about
it again.
Just a second. Just a second.
Yeah,
That's
how
right.
I was going to exit. It's like this was a lot of work that we did. And yeah, it was a lot of work that we did. I got the link inside the chat. You guys can check it out. This was pretty epic. Like I've been saying in some of the videos, I know it seems like we're only on Thursday nights, but I got to defend Crypto Bronze and Texan Whale. There's a lot of work that goes on throughout the week, meetings that we have with each other. And even I'm a little bit exhausted this last week because we were dealing with people from a different country and having to deal with UTC times and everything that was going on. But this is a great opportunity for those who are tapped in with BRB Cash. And if you're not, definitely tap in with us because we just got listed on Hotbit. And, now that the markets are down, this is probably where you want to get in. Right? Not financial advice, but we're at the bottom of the barrel right now. So we only got the upside potential. And we can see that we're putting in the hard work behind the scenes to make these things come to fruition. So I'm just really excited about this. And, yeah, we're going to keep doing this. What do you guys got to say before we get out of here with this Hotbit list? Because it's pretty epic.
It's epic, and you're right. Rico, thank you for that. We put a lot of effort into it, and I'm sure Keith can understand that as well. Trying to deal with multiple different regions. I feel like I haven't slept in, I don't know, months. Has it been a year? I don't even remember, but I just, it's like.
You're AI, aren't you?
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone, but yes. But yeah, it's so big shout out to Keith, big Rico, thank you, big shout out to you because we do want to make sure that we want to have our guests really be the spotlight of this. This is really what it's about. We do have our chance with our AMAs. We will have a new one coming up, hopefully within the next week or two. We do have some news coming up regarding CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So more to come on that, folks. But Keith, Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Rico, Bronze, man, awesome as always. So
yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Now I have more work thanks to you guys. I got to go check out what BRB Cash is and does. So
boom, there it is. So
and when you got ready to get some videos out, Keith, like I do with all the guests on the show, I offer my channel up, and if you guys need some exposure or a video to be dropped in any way that I can help being a YouTuber, I could definitely help out with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate that. And I always like to say, appreciate everyone who showed up to listen, to watch me, whether they just wanted to win, that's okay too.
Well, you know what? Honestly, whatever it takes, and it's all about getting some eyeballs on the projects, right? At the end of the day, we're stronger together. So, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Everyone on the panel with us tonight, thank you, guys. Have a great night. Peace.
Yeah.